Hey YouTube, we bought this RoadTrek and the freshwater tank, and it was not working as it should. I was not able to fill the water tank through the main water supply inlet, and I found out that the section of water hose that went from the left side to the right side of the vehicle or to the tank was gone. So I'm replacing it with a PEX water pipe, which is able to take drinking water through it. Bought that at the local Home Depot, and I'm gonna have to rig a T in there. So I took this out of the actual water tank, and that was my plug that was in there when I bought it. So I took that out. What I'm planning on doing is threading this in where this came out, and I want to be able to drain the tank when I need to. So I put in a T in a plug so that I can just back this out whenever I need to drain that tank, so that if I need to take care of it for contamination or weatherproofing, I can just go ahead and drain the water out whenever I need to. This will also extend from the left side to the right side, so that I can connect it to the water pipe that's on the left side of the vehicle. What I'm using is a PEX pipe instead of buying the crimping tool, which is about 40 bucks. We just got these press insert fittings. So this fitting was this one, and then I had to get the Y, which was, or the T, which was this, and then I had a plug ready. And then I bought two of these, one to go on each end of the PEX pipe. So what happens is you put this in it. How you work this? Now I have to cut this to length, so I'm not going to insert this right now. But you put this end inside the pipe like that. So what I'm doing is I got this section done, and this is the same as this fitting. And I have a female end on the other side that this is going to thread into on the other side of the vehicle already. How this fitting works is there's no tools required. Now I'm not going to put it in yet because I got to cut this hose to size. You'd put this in, like, insert it to give it rigidity. Now if you're using this for copper piping, you wouldn't need to do that. Put this in, but this gives it more rigidity so that this hose won't collapse. And then you push this in like this, you push it in and turn it at the same time, and it seals it. It holds it tight. So you'd have to cut it to get it out.
So why are you using this PVC instead of copper?
It's cheaper. I paid $1.86 for this entire piece, but you probably pay about 10 bucks for a piece of copper pipe. And I want to be able to be flexible a little bit, so I needed to go above and below some pipes that I already have existing in there. So I don't want to have a rigid pipe.
So we couldn't use copper.
I didn't want to use copper, and when I called RoadTrek, they used plastic. They used this plastic piping too. So I'm just putting back in what was originally there. And he even told me that there was actually a T there to allow for water pipe for tank drainage as well. So I'm just restoring this back to the way it was. Maybe a little bit better because I'm putting brass in while they probably had plastic, based on what I had here. So so I'm putting this back together, and so that we can fill up our water tank and be able to use the tank, use the pump inside the vehicle when we're boondocking or not plugged into power. So here we go. Let's see how this works. Now that's that is the T installed. So I threaded it into, this is my tank. This is my tank right here. So this is my fresh water tank where it goes in. So I threaded my Y in right here, into my tank, and now the PEX tubing goes across to the other side, and I'll be hooking it up to the other side. Now if you see it, you see that tubing is kind of hanging off the other side. I have to cut it to length, so I have to cut that off. I just bought a 5-foot piece because I know it was going to be less than 5 feet. It was, again, pretty cheap stuff compared to buying brass. And I had to put over the top of that sewage pipe, sewage and drain pipe and black pipe, so I couldn't use a rigid pipe for that. Otherwise, I have to be bending it. So, and I'm going to do all that. I'm just going to use, once I get it all installed, I'm just going to use some zip ties to hold it in place so it doesn't rub up against anything. So let's hook up the other side. This is a PCV tube cutter or pipe cutter, and again, you can buy these at Home Depot, and it's especially made to be able to cut plastic tubing, and I'm going to use it to cut the PEX pipe that's down there. How it works is you put the pipe in here and you just keep cranking down on it, and you'll see that blade get closer and closer and closer until finally it'll just cut right through it. And what it's for is to cut the pipe without crushing it. Because if you use like a side cutters or a wire cutter, you actually will crush the pipe flat, which will damage the piping. So this just cuts it straight across. So I'll show you what that looks like. So you just open this up like that. So you just pull it open like that. So I'm gonna have to cut more than this off, but I'll show you how this works. So as you're putting this down, this goes in like this, and it cuts it off nice and straight.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Again, you can buy it from Home Depot. You can use it for PCV pipe. You can use it for PEX pipe. Any kind of plastic piping, it works real slick. The only thing you gotta watch out for when you're using these press couplers is you have to cut them off straight. You can't cut them off at an angle. And this helps with that too, because it just fits in there, and you just put it in there. Just keep cranking it down. It cuts right through.
Is that all you use it for PVC?
Yeah. So it does a real nice job of cutting that without damaging the pipe.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, this is the left side where I fastened it onto the existing plumbing. That gray pipe right there is the existing plumbing that was already here, and that is the PEX pipe with the appropriate push seal fitting that I have installed on the end and threaded into the existing plumbing. I'm going to fasten this down, this existing plumbing, this gray plastic piece, with a zip tie, so it stays away from the exhaust, which is right just above it. So it'll also keep it secure, so it doesn't keep bouncing around and maybe damage the water pipe. So just a little bit more, just a couple zip ties under the plastic piping, and I think we'll be about set. So, but that's it. That's the water repair that we did to fix that plumbing. And you can see as it goes to the other side, across the top of that dump valve, along the gray and black water tank pipes, so it's out of the way, so it won't be snagged by anything that goes underneath the vehicle. So I didn't want to make sure it didn't hang below anything. And that's the right side that I already videotaped and showed you, and it comes across and fastens on right there with another PEX adapter, and then adapts into the existing plumbing that's already here from RoadTrek. So again, that piece was missing. I called RoadTrek, and they said that pipe was supposed to be there. For some reason, he said must have been modified or taken off or whatever, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So that's what we restored back to it. So we will make it work, and it looks pretty good. I like what we see, and we will have this water system working as it should for RoadTrek.